One thing that I won't say to my kid, that I won't say to my nephews, is the good old days. Fuck the good old days. I hated that shit when I was a kid. I heard about the good old days all the time. And I was like, oh, the good old days. Let's see. Would that be when Grandma and Grandpa were throwing frying pans at each other's heads? Was that the good old days? And the neighbors didn't call the police? Because in the good old days, people knew how to mind their own fucking business. Those good old days, those the ones. Because I'm not sorry I missed them. And I swore that I wouldn't do that. I swore that when I got older, I wouldn't pretend that my generation was the only generation that ever had decent music. I swore that I would remember that we listened to shit like Warrant and Bon Jovi. Like, I promised myself that I wouldn't do that. But I'm getting up there now, and my friends are doing it. And they're talking about the good old days, you know? Like, even when we were really young in the 70s, which was obviously shit. You can't even argue that one, you know? And here's my recollection of the good old days of the 70s. I lived in a little housing suburb that was by some hills. And that's great because kids love to play in hills. Yay, hills. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play in the hills. But between the hills and my house was a little strip of farmland, and you had to walk across the farm to get to the hills. Now the problem is walking across the farm to play in the hills, which is a perfectly natural thing for a young child to want to do, you might run across the farmer who would shoot at you, who would shoot at your 8-year-old self with a pellet gun that shot salt rocks, which lodged under your skin and burned like holy shit. And in the good old days, when you went home because some sadistic prick shot you in the ass with a salt pellet, and your dad noticed you couldn't sit down while you were eating dinner, he didn't go and have a talking to with the farmer. He didn't go and kick the farmer's ass. He didn't call his lawyer so you could sue the shit out of that bastard who so grossly deserves it. No, he said, what were you doing on his property? What do you think I was doing on his property? I'm fucking 8! I was playing. And it traumatized me on a really deep emotional level. It really, really... Why is that funny? I'm opening up. I'm sharing. I thought you were going to come here and laugh with me, and this is just totally turned. This is how deeply this got to me. I had this recurring dream that I'm going to share with you now. I had a recurring dream all through my preteen years of crossing that farmer's field. And I'm crossing that field, and I come across a tree. And this is a very special tree. This tree didn't have knotholes. It had vaginas. I was a child who really wanted to experience a vagina. Now, the first vagina would seem to be the logical choice, but it's too low down, and you can't maneuver with the ground in your way. And the next vagina, you have to actually climb the tree. So I climbed the tree, and the arrangement of the branch and the vagina, I just couldn't quite reach. But there's more vaginas up there. There always are. So I climb up a little higher, and I get on another branch, and the vagina is just a little too far around the corner. I still can't get to the vagina. So I climb again, and by the time that I get to the perfect 2 branches, got my feet on them, and there it is. There's the vagina, right where I need it to be. I'm now like 5 stories up, but happy. And I go to it. I don't have to be graphic here. I think you know what you do with a vagina tree. You enjoy it. But as I'm enjoying it, I hear something go by me, and then a splintering. The farmer's shooting, only he's not shooting salt rocks. He's shooting bullets. In the dream, they're real bullets that are splintering into the next tree, which isn't a vagina tree, it's just like an apple tree or orange tree, some other less delightful fruit. Now, I'm 5 stories up, and if I fall out of the vagina tree, I'm gonna die. If I get shot by the farmer, I'm gonna die. And likely my body's gonna be found with my dick stuck in a gooey knothole. The logical thing would be to get down the tree quickly, but I could not stop. I could not, for the life of me, stop fucking the vagina tree. Neither bullets, nor fear of heights, nor anything were gonna tear me away from that sweet, sweet, sweet nectar. It's only now, as an adult, looking back, that I realize that was the most realistic dream I ever had in my life.